Week 6 recap. Week 7. Week 7 preview. Kill me now.
No, me.
Welcome back to the James and Dame Show. I'm Josiah.
And I'm Will.
And we're going to go over Week 7 preview because we can never have enough of this very confusing times of an NFL league. I don't know who's... Does anybody know who's good this season?
No. But to kick it off, we'll look at the standings, I guess, for Pick'ems as far as how things went. Josiah, you're slipping a little bit. You're
one game.
Well, now you're down 2 games.
It's been a 1-game difference for a while now.
Yep. So Josiah's down in second at 60-32, while JJ 4 Days holds and is extending ever so slightly his lead at 62-30. I'm down at 55-37. I had a rough start to the year, but I am inching my way back.
Crawling your way back, yeah.
You went, what was it?
I went
9-6? I believe so. I believe there were 15
yes,
games.
9-6.
Which means that I went 10-5. And I will say that if it wasn't for principle, I probably would have been 11-4, but
you didn't.
I have to stick with my team, but Monday night definitely saved me.
Yes.
Monday night did save me. But looking enough at last week, as I will also mention, me and JJ 4 Days had the best record from last week at 10-5.
Yeah. Everyone else had like a 9-6 or something.
9-6. There was one 8-7. We're not going to mention who. It wasn't me though.
Wasn't me.
We know that. But looking ahead to next week, as I know you have some notes, I guess, for this week. We have the Steelers visiting the Bengals. And before we get into who we think is going to win this, do you think Mike Tomlin is a little upset with the Browns for gifting the Bengals Joe Flacco? I don't know if you saw his press conference, but...
Well, I saw the press conference.
He seems a little... Some people think he's upset or scared. Personally, I just think he's calling Cleveland dumb.
I do agree with that.
Because...
Cleveland is kind of dumb. No offense to the fans. I'm talking about their organization.
I mean, if you're Pittsburgh right now... Fans, I don't think you're too scared of Cincy. They're 2-4. They're like free falling. But if you're the Steelers, though, like if you know what we know about the AFC North in this, even though the Bengals are not in a great spot, Joe Flacco made that offense a little bit better. The defense looked a little bit better last week too, and we also know that the Steelers often perform a lot better earlier in the year and then start slipping, and they're 4-1 right now, so Thursday night could yield some interesting outcomes. I'm curious what you're looking at and seeing with this AFC North game in Cincy.
I trust no one. Bengals are stealing the win.
Interesting.
I am going to go with how this league has been torturing us so far, with how we don't know a damn thing until it's over. So I will act like I don't know a damn thing until it's over. So I'm going Bengals.
I do love the fact that this game will feature back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs.
This is true.
Admittedly, this was like 12, 13 years ago, so...
Yeah. They're old.
Old men. And Aaron Rodgers has commented on it, I think it is.
Old man Aaron Rodgers.
Facing off against Joe Flacco. I'm curious to see it. I think it could be a potentially fun game.
Yeah.
I'm actually also going to go with the Bengals because Bengals at home on a short week against a Steelers team who, again, how battle tested are they?
Not very.
And they're gonna start facing a tougher part of the schedule. But Cincy at home, I think has a little bit of a chance to pull off an upset, kind of similar to the Giants last week.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking this upset here, and this won't be the only upset I pick this week.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm also going with the Bengals here, and I think people have recognized that I like picking underdogs. It's fun, it spices things up. So
Yeah, it's pretty much toss up sometimes, but I get that.
moving along to yet another game, international game. We're looking at a game yet again in Wembley, out in London. And so,
You already know what's happening.
let me guess.
2 for 2. I'm going Jacksonville, baby.
You mean the London Jaguars?
Hey, they have a solid market in Jacksonville.
I'm honestly,
This is their home away from home.
honestly, it is. They do play pretty well in London. They also play very often in London. So
They have experience there. I don't remember the last time the Rams were in London.
it's been a while. But looking just at this game, a lot of points in the Rams' favor with kind of how they've looked. But I mean, injuries have kind of been an issue. They didn't look great last week. Yet they're more heavily picked, not necessarily favored. But they are favored. Meanwhile, again, Jacksonville, you lost to the Seahawks, but Seahawks could potentially be much better than we think.
Good.
Again, it's Jacksonville in London. So
You don't
you just
pick the damn Jaguars without knowing that they're in London because that is their home, away from home.
it's
and
their second home.
it's literally copy paste. They're just across the pond. That's what that is. So yeah, I'm going 2 for 2 on upsets here.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it gets more normal here.
Yeah, I like to think that the Jaguars secretly have just a clone of themselves in London, and they don't actually ship the team out to London. They're just like, all right, we're gonna let the clones handle this one, send them in. But
Send them the troops.
I'm going with Jacksonville.
All right.
Just because it's London. Well, not just 'cause, but yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of very, very, very underdogs, Saints versus the Bears. Hell nah, I'm picking the underdog. I'm not doing that. I'm picking the Bears.
I'm
picking the Bears.
I agree with you. Bears have looked pretty good. I mean, they've played it close the last few weeks, but
Still a pretty competent team.
you win off a blocked field goal and then you win on a made field goal last second. Like, these games are close, and the Saints have also been pretty good at keeping games close. But
Bears can win the close games, though.
yeah, Saints haven't been able to close out those games. And I think it is interesting that the Bears are only minus 240 as far as favorites go. But Bears, they're kind of in that like middle of the pack team that could potentially put together like a streak of wins. Saints are they're bottom 5 for me. So I'm going Bears, especially at home.
The Bears. Okay. So this is the game that I wanted to talk about. So if you remember in the recap, I said that I was going to keep a secret on which coach would be fired next. This game decides it.
Oh, so you think the loser is going to have
Has a better chance of being fired.
Yeah, I mean, I will say again, it's the AFC North. I don't think Stefanski gets fired until at least way late in the season.
It's true, but I do think a loss here would be like in their minds would be like, okay, we're gonna fire this guy the other season. Like we're gonna get through the season, but he's out. Like if you can't beat the Dolphins, who have also struggled, it could be flipped as well. Like if you can't beat the Browns, then you should be out of here. Like you see what I'm saying here? Mm-hmm. Both of these teams are so bad that if you can't beat the other one, why are you the head coach or why are you the starting quarterback? It can go on and on and on. So I think this game kind of decides what happens in the future in the sense of head coaches. I am picking the Browns to win. McDaniels, start counting your days, bud.
Yeah. I think if McDaniels loses this game, especially if it's not pretty, they might have him left in Cleveland and they might keep Tua with them. They might go, you two stay here. Y'all will be fine. You're your best friends.
Add another quarterback to the roster.
They'll be like, we'll make a trade with you right now. But
during the game.
Looking at this game, the Dolphins are in such a spiral. Tua has not been playing well, and the Dolphins have lost a few games in heartbreaking fashion. Meanwhile, looking at the Browns, they're showing a really good defense who could potentially make Tua's poor performance even worse. On top of that, you throw in the fact that this Browns offense, which was abysmal to start the year, has shown more promise with Gabriel there, but also it's a lot of these rookies are showing up. Judkins has been playing pretty well, and Fannin, he's not been like phenomenal, but he's been a pretty good weapon for especially Gabriel. But he's been stepping up big in recent weeks too. I think I'm gonna go with the Browns, but I'm also not really. I could absolutely see it going either way, and I could see the Dolphins coming out on top, or at least keeping this close. But I'm almost feeling a blowout, like an ugly Dolphins game, because the Dolphins, unless that speed that they utilize so much really destroys the Browns defense, I think the Browns are, like, as far as like leveling wise, a perfect counter.
Yes,
not
leveling
just
wise,
saying
they're
like
perfect.
Like that being on that level, obviously not being like a team that's just completely better, but the Browns are just better in the places that matter to capitalize on the Dolphins. So yes. I have a Browns win. Even if Gabriel doesn't play well, I could see him getting benched and Shadur coming out and playing well, which I know will be the bane of your existence, but
playing well against a terrible team.
Well, yeah, he'd still be playing well. Just, it doesn't mean much, but it's still playing well.
I did it wrong. Playing well against a very terrible team. There we go.
There you go.
That's better.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Browns as well. But
all right, here's the matchup that I dread to look at, but I have to accept reality. Patriots visiting the Titans.
Titans.
I ain't picking the Titans. That's not how it works. And the Patriots they're on a roll right now. They have a cupcake schedule, so they're gonna win most of these games. So here's your free win, I guess.
I mean, if you look at the Titans, we've seen it's not super common, but it does happen a bit where after you fire a bad head coach, unanimously bad head coach, we see this interim come in and actually play somewhat well. Unfortunately for the Titans, I don't see it working out well when you have a Mike Vrabel revenge game. So I'm going Patriots. Again, they're playing well. Not to say, again, not like a top 5 team. I don't even have them in the top 10, but they're playing well, and the Titans, you're just hoping to look a little bit better. But
Yeah.
not. I think they will be better because Callahan was just not a good coach. But not enough to keep up with, not enough to beat the Patriots. You might be able to keep up, but
Not enough to beat them.
yeah, the Titans defense might be able to save them.
Yeah. All right.
Oh boy.
This is going to be ugly. So we have the Raiders visiting the Chiefs. In your dreams, you think I'm picking against the Chiefs right now. Especially at those betting odds. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just with how the Chiefs have been playing and how the Raiders have been playing,
Yeah.
Geno seems to still be the starter.
For the moment.
That might not last anymore after the first half of this game because the Chiefs defense has been, I mean, they shut down the Lions pretty much for almost all of the second half last week. They had one good drive.
Mm-hmm.
Geno's not going to have a fun time.
No.
And also, if I am correct, I believe we also will see the return of Rashee Rice. I
Yes.
think, because I believe it was just a 6-game suspension, and they have played their 6 games. So Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, plus Juju and Hollywood Brown, that receiver room has kind of turned around for Mahomes, and Mahomes has been playing pretty well too. So it's a divisional game, and we've seen these two play close, but I don't see an upset here.
Not here.
So I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs. I'm not going back to my pick the Chiefs until they lose. But
The only reason why we did that last year was because they just wouldn't lose those one-score games.
yeah, now they are, which is why
That's different.
You're just looking for a team that you think can keep it a 1-score game because then you have some confidence in the fact that they maybe could pull out a win. I just don't think that's going to be the Raiders because as well as their defense did last week, their offense was. It's really just Geno. If they put in Kenny Pickett, I think honestly they actually might have a chance at an upset, but which is saying a lot. But Geno has been dragging that team down, and Trey Tucker's been playing well. Ashton Genty's been playing well. If Brock Bowers comes back, because he's missed a little bit of time, he is questionable. So if he comes back, you throw in a quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over all the time, you might have a chance.
Maybe.
A long shot.
It's a chance.
But again, in my eyes, all you have to do is get this to a 1-score game late in the game, and you are almost in I would almost favor you, even if it's the Raiders, because the Chiefs, they've just. But they do have to stop the revitalized receiver room of the Chiefs, so I'm going with the Chiefs in a blowout.
Yeah. Eagles visiting Vikings.
Oh, boy. How do you feel about the Vikings right now? Because we
I
know.
don't trust them.
Yeah.
But I also don't trust the Eagles.
Yeah.
See, the thing is that J.J. McCarthy has not looked great so far. Granted,
it was one clutch game and then one bad game. But we also don't really know who is going to start because
for Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is also questionable. Both are questionable. McCarthy is coming off of IR, which is enough for me to kind of feel like I think they're going to roll with him.
They might start.
I think if I were to guess, it would be rolling with McCarthy. I think a lot of people are out on McCarthy way too early in what was his second start of his career.
I'm not out on him quite yet, but that second performance is a little concerning. But it's rookie mistakes. It happens. So he's not even a rookie, so I can't even say that about him.
He's basically
a rookie. But with him, It's just, I don't think at the moment he has enough to beat the Eagles. I think the only reason why Jackson Dart beat the Eagles was because the Giants secretly have a pretty decent team around Dart. Like, just ignoring Scadaboo. Like, obviously you don't have Neighbors,
No.
but you still have a okay receiver room, a great O-line. That O-line's pretty good.
They've been pretty solid.
They've been pretty solid.
I mean, again, if you're looking at, I just feel like with Jackson Dart, a lot of it is just the way he played. He's just got such a good mentality.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, his O-line provides him the opportunity to do something. The Vikings, however, I haven't seen enough of that O-line yet to make a good enough statement. Also, McCarthy, like you said, one clutch game, one terrible game. Which one are we going to actually see this game? Because I don't know. Because, like, he's, like you said, he's basically rookie. I don't know how he'll play in the NFL. He's a big question mark that I don't think will get answered right away. I'm going to pick the Eagles only because it's probably the safer option. But at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings do pull this off because the Eagles are so incompetent on offense.
Yeah, that's the thing. And, like, again, their defense didn't look great last week either.
Honestly, I'm okay with going head-to-head on this thing. Like, I'd pick the Eagles and you pick the Vikings if you were going to.
Well, I am, actually.
Well, okay, so you're picking the Vikings. So, like,
yeah.
I don't mind going head-to-head. It's just, who do you think is more incompetent right now?
It's again, a lot of it is just not believing, is a lot of disbelief towards JJ McCarthy. And I
think he has potential. Not right away.
We'll have to see how they come back from that injury, but the Eagles are in such, like, even if the Vikings are just, like, here with JJ McCarthy, the Eagles were here, but they're crashing quickly, and
it's where that line is meeting. Like, where's the line going?
Right now, after last week, I have the Vikings.
I think the Eagles are about, like, right here on their way down. They're like a step above, but, like, after this week, they're tanking.
It's gonna. I feel like it's gonna recall. It's either gonna be a major fix on offense, or they're gonna have to rely a lot on their defense. And again, we question JJ McCarthy, but one thing that you can't forget is the Vikings do still have Justin Jefferson, who is
a game changer.
He is a very big weapon, who is not going to just be a null factor. So you put him in a game against the Eagles, which I feel like he always does pretty good against the Eagles too. I like the Vikings odds, especially, again, playing at home. But I know I'm going to get a few of these wrong, and this would not be one I would be surprised if I got wrong because it is an underdog, but I don't trust the Eagles enough.
That's fair.
Moving along, though, Panthers visiting the Jets. I'll let you go first on this one.
This was one of the ones I couldn't figure out right away. I like the Panthers, I really do. But it's really hard picking them because is it because it was Dallas's defense that you were able to do well? But at the same time, if you did well against the Dallas defense, you should be fine against the Jets.
I mean, the Jets only allowed, 13 points last week?
To the Broncos.
To the Broncos.
Granted, they also don't have a great offense.
Yeah, and the Panthers, it's like you go back and forth with them. They're just kind of inconsistent.
I'm really hopeful. I would like the prospect of the Panthers being over 500 for the first time under Bryce Young's era. I like that idea. I'm going to roll with it. But at the same time, those damn Jets, they're going to get their first win sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, this is the one place where it's like, this is probably the earliest they can do it. is right here against the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, they were close last week.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even then, like they're knocking at the door. They're gonna get their first win here soon.
Yeah, I'm picking a lot of underdogs and I'm picking a lot of home teams. I'm gonna go with the Jets because Jets need their win. I know they're gonna get one.
They're gonna get one.
That offense is not as bad as it's been. Like it is. There's more talent there than they're showing.
They're just terrible. They're sloppy.
It's been really rough. I know that there's some concern as to with the Jets as far as Garrett Wilson's
That's another thing. It's just
availability,
coach to player thing has not been great, especially with Garrett Wilson's temper.
Well, it's
this
not,
last game.
More than anything is he's doubtful to even play.
Yeah,
he suffered an injury, which is more what I was focused on. Is he's just him being out could be really big hit to the Jets. Yeah. But what I am looking at here is, again, that offense is more talented than they show, and the defense did pretty well last week. Again, not against a high-flying Broncos offense, but you look at the Panthers. Panthers' offense is really inconsistent. Dowdle's been really good, but I think if they can mitigate Dowdle and not let Bryce Young flourish, which is another factor in my pick here, is the other thing is Bryce Young has 1 or 2 wins on the road in his career.
It's true.
He's been very bad on the road. As much as I would love to have the Bryce Young era Panthers over 500, and kind of like pulling for Dave Canales to actually be good, I just see the stars aligning for the Jets getting their first win. Obviously, they're going to be underdogs because they're 0-6 against a 500 team. But I think this is the Jets. I think this is a better opportunity for the Jets than even the Broncos was. And they played the Broncos close. Again, in England. But I like the Jets here against the Panthers, who, again, Panthers are heating up, but I don't quite think they're a good team yet. So that's why it'll be the knock them down a step. But this game.
Speaking of the Broncos,
how much do you
They're an exciting team. They're an exciting team. But a young team going into Mile High.
That defense is tough. Oh, but you just showed up the Eagles though, who've also been like, again, I've compared the Eagles like pass rush ability to the Broncos pass rush ability. And that's really where I think this is going to come down to, is can they get Dart and throw him off his game?
They can.
Giants just did it against the Eagles. Like Dart just did it against the Eagles. And
but how much do you think is the Eagles crashing?
Well, I'm not even looking at the entire game. I'm just looking at Dart against the Eagles defense, like that front seven, and he was able to kind of just do as he pleased. But Broncos have been a lot better in that front seven than even the Eagles, and it's just Broncos are kind of scary right now. It's also going to come down to that, obviously, the Giants defense against that Broncos offense, because I think people kind of underestimate how good that Giants defense is with Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter, who I think has had kind of a quieter start to his career. I think he's going to start heating up, and I think he has been heating up a little bit with at least his pressures. That's really what I think. Well, I think that's going to be a factor. It's going to be what can Dart do against this Broncos defense that decides this game. So you said you were going with the Broncos, yes?
Yeah.
I am yet again going with a home team winning, so I'm going with the Broncos. But wouldn't be surprised if I got this wrong because of the way the Giants have been playing. Again, as long as they don't have 5 turnovers, they've been a pretty good team. So,
yeah,
I don't know. They beat the Chargers. They managed that. So, I'm gonna put the faith in them.
Speaking of the Chargers,
Colts visiting the Chargers.
I think this is what you said earlier with this Colts team. If they had played tougher opponents, you'd have them up ranked first. This is going to be one of those tests. I don't think they do it.
You don't think they do it?
No, I think the Chargers pull a win out from them.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because the Chargers they had a 2-game skid, but they got back in the win column, but it was against Miami. So
It was against Miami. However, I like the Colts, don't get me wrong. It's just the last time the Colts played a somewhat decent team, they lost. So
this is true, but I do have the Colts I do have the Rams as a better team than the Chargers right now.
yeah, that's fair.
And it's going to come down to, again, health. That's really where this game is going to be decided because, again, Colts were missing a few of those corners. You were missing Travarius Ward and you were missing Kenny Moore. If both of those guys are healthy for this game, they're both questionable right now. If both of them are playing, I like the Colts. But you also have to look at how healthy the Chargers are because that's a lot of the reason why they had stumbled so much. And they're getting healthier. Jawalt's going to be questionable. Quentin Johnston's questionable. Hampton is still on IR, so you're going to have to lean on Vidal again. But you're hoping this team gets healthier. You're also still missing Khalil Mack. They're still a little battered, and Colts have just been playing well, so I am going to go with the Colts. Again, if they don't have those two corners back, Ladd McConkey's been stepping up lately, and so they might have a bad time. But I am going to believe in the Colts right now mostly because Jonathan Taylor, actually. But it's maybe my favorite matchup of the week.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it'll be a fun one. But looking at the last 2 matchups for the afternoon slate, we got the Commanders visiting the Cowboys.
I'm probably going with a safe option with the Commanders. That's not to deny Prescott and Pickens' talent, but that defense, ugh.
Yeah, this one might be a little bit of a shootout. I mean, that's kind of what we've seen with the Cowboys, but Commanders, they just need to not shoot themselves in the foot. Turnovers were a big part of their loss last week, and I think if they can mitigate that against a not very good Cowboys defense,
yeah, you should be fine, supposedly.
You just got to keep up against Dak and George Pickens. I'm not sure. I have to double check real quick as far as CD's return. He is off IR, so he is now just listed as questionable. So we might see his return, which could very much swing things. But I am going to stick with the Commanders, like you said, as the safer option, where a more complete team rather than just a one-sided affair. I've seen enough out of the Bengals last year to know to go with the Commanders this week.
It's fair.
But moving along, we have the Packers visiting the Cardinals, and
Packers.
Yeah.
Cardinals are not winning this thing.
I'm actually not sure who is expected to start this week, but for the quarterback of the Cardinals, but I'll put it one way. Brissett looked better, but Brissett can't run away from Micah Parsons. Kyler Murray could, but that's about all he probably would be able to
do. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. I still think the Packers are going to win this game.
Packers, I am still not super confident with them, especially looking at last week. They just didn't. I was not wowed as much as I felt like I should have been, but at the very least, you have Josh Jacobs to lean on, who's been playing very well. So, Packers win. Yeah. Sunday Night Football. We got some prime time. Falcons visiting the 49ers. And,
This was the hardest one for me.
interesting. It's interesting because I don't have a lot of faith. After last year, I don't have a lot of faith in Raheem Morris. But, especially on like Sunday night, it's hard to believe in him. But you did just beat the Bills on Monday night. You're going against a 49ers team that has only gotten more injured. So, who can you really trust right now? Is it the very injured yet somehow 4-2 49ers who do have Christian McCaffrey, or is it the Falcons who are the Falcons and probably going to end up as a middle of the road team yet again?
I don't like the fact that they had to make me choose between these two. That's why it was the hardest one.
I'll give you what if I give you a list of the 49ers injury report, and we'll see how you feel after that.
I've seen the list, but you saw how they've been playing. They'll
Yeah,
still play up the competition.
I'll say Brock Purdy's questionable, so he could return. Ricky Pearsall is questionable, so he could return. They are going to be missing Warner, Ayuk, Kittle.
Kittle will
obviously Bosa.
return.
Kittle is not returning as of right now.
That's not what fantasy said.
It looks as though he's still on IR. So,
Well, for me, it had him listed as him getting projected points.
interesting.
So that's why I was like,
I'm not sure why fantasy would say that because he looks like he's still listed as on IR.
yeah, Kittle has 13.7 points. Well, no, he's still listed as IR, but
Well, so I guess he's expected to practice this week. So
It
he
just
could
depends
potentially
on-
come off.
okay. I see you.
That'll be an interesting thing. Jawan Jennings, who had limited play time last week, we could see more of him, but it's a thin roster right now. It's thinning, and again, there's more in the air than there was last week, where it was more guys just out. I don't know if that really helps or not. I would almost expect 49ers to start Brock Purdy this week, unless they want to roll with Mac Jones. I wouldn't, but
I wouldn't either.
I don't like this matchup either, but I do at least have my pick.
What's your pick?
I'm going to roll with the team that has had a very high-flying pass defense and has been much revitalized, especially with that pass rush, and that would be the Atlanta Falcons. I don't like it, and if Purdy comes back, Purdy hasn't been playing great this year. He's a starting quarterback, but it's been rough. Weapons are thin, injuries are getting to them, and I think the Falcons defense could make this a rough go. It's going to come down to the Falcons offense above all else, but I would rather take the Falcons.
I'll pick the upset. I'll pick the Falcons.
Okay, I was like, are we calling the Falcons the upset? Which they are technically the underdog, but not by much. So it's not that much really of an upset, but it is the less
upset.
flavored. Looking at Monday night, we have another Monday night doubleheader. We have Bucks visiting the Lions.
Have you ever seen Pissed Off Dan Campbell and the Pissed Off Lions?
I have.
They might be pissed off.
They might be, But at the same time, have you seen Baker this year?
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a good matchup.
Oh yeah, I'm saying I think it'll be a good matchup. I thought you were using that as your,
Reason to...
yeah, you're like, Lions are gonna have this one. I'm like,
No,
but have
that's
you
not how it
seen
works.
Baker?
Have you seen that guy?
I mean, I could, again, this is another game. I could see this coming down to like the end. And
This is like a last minute thing.
yeah,
So I'm gonna stick with the home team, but I wouldn't be hurt if Baker wins this game. I'm gonna pick against him for once.
all I'm gonna say, you said this, you think this comes down to the end?
Last minute drive.
If Baker's the one with the ball at the end, I like Baker. I like Baker's odds. He's only
like his odds.
he's only failed once on a last minute drive. And admittedly, I do love this stat that last week was the first time they had a victory formation
This is
all
true.
year. But I just use that as a testament again to why I think if they can keep this a 1-score game, get the ball at the end. Baker's been so good in the clutch, and especially what I saw from the Lions last week. I like the Buccaneers in prime time on Monday night.
It's fair. I wouldn't be butthurt about it, so I like this. I like this game. I'm gonna watch it if I can. I'm going to because
sure.
It's during fall break for us, so I'm watching this game.
And then there's
And then there's the second one.
Texans visiting the Seahawks. I had a week without the Texans, almost kind of like forgot they existed for a week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of forgot they existed.
And it was nice because the Texans.
Now I have to hurt my head about thinking about how good they are and how bad they are.
It was just I didn't. My eyes were
My
feeling
eyes!
the 1 week they had a good offensive showing. It only caused me more pain. So
That's pretty valid.
this one's pretty easy for me.
This one's easy for me as well. Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Seahawks just because. Again, Texans have one offensive showing, and it was against a team who was allowing near 40 points a game. It's not surprising. So, yeah, Seattle is not going to have that defense. JSN is playing out of his mind, and Darnold's playing well.
Yes.
So, Stroud is going to forget what an NFL defense feels like after 2 weeks ago's win in a bye week. So good luck, Texans. Not really. Pulling for Seattle.
Yeah.
Anyways, that does wrap up the Week 7 preview. Things are getting real interesting.
They're heating up.
And as far as news goes, we got trades on the horizon. Coach firings around the corner. Will somebody lose their job this week?
I'm hoping so. Get them on the unemployment list.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, but we appreciate you all joining us for this week's preview, or this upcoming week's preview, and we look forward to seeing you either in the live stream or for next week's recap of these games.
True.
Bye.